Hey YouTube, I'm Sergeant Indy. I figured I would take a quick moment to talk about the channel. It's been dark for a couple of weeks and there hasn't been a new tutorial for like a month. I know a lot of people, I've got like 100 subscribers and I feel bad. I feel really bad. So I figured I would make this video as a public apology and then talk about kind of what's been happening to me because I've been sort of disconnected from the internet lately. I've been very busy. So, first, about the tutorial. I'm super sorry. It's been almost an entire month since the last tutorial, maybe more than a month. It's ridiculous. I'm a terrible person. So, what happened was, I'm a partial owner of a local gaming store, and that has been very busy for me lately. It's not a super big deal, and it normally doesn't take up a lot of my life, but lately, it has. And then on top of that, a couple of weeks ago, I had a surgery. Nothing major, nobody worry. Everything's fine. Everything went off without a hitch. But it put me out of commission for about 2 weeks. I mean, this was the soonest I could record a video. I might as well talk about it some more. Again, it's really nothing major. I have sleep apnea. It's something a lot of veterans with PTSD have. We have sleep apnea, like there's some sort of obstruction or whatever while we're sleeping, and that doesn't help with the general stress and anxiety and depression that is PTSD. So I had a minor operation on my nose. My septum was deviated both ways. So what happened? And let's talk about it really brief. I don't want to get too into it. But the surgeon had to go in and cut in my nose, and he, cut my septum so that my nose, works properly. And he also, shaved down some of the bottom ends of my sinuses while he was in there. So for the last 2 weeks, I've had, I've been a disgusting mess, and I'll spare you a lot of the details, but I was essentially really clogged up, and I had a bunch of long plastic, splints stuffed up my nose. So I was talking all like this for 2 weeks, and I can't record a video like that. So between that and the gaming store, it's been a very long time since I put up a new tutorial. More are coming soon. Soon. In fact, hopefully I'll have another one up right after I put this up. The other delay with the tutorial is I've changed it. I've altered the deal. I've changed it. So initially, the turn-based strategy tutorial is, again, turn-based strategy 101. Gonna cover really basic stuff. A grid. Pathfinding on a grid, basic role-playing statistics. That was it. There wasn't going to be any AI. It was going to be a game where you and your friend would sit down and pass a mouse back and forth, because that's the most basic, rudimentary way to teach turn-based strategy, which is already a pretty complicated subject as far as game programming goes. Now, that's how I planned it initially, and I realize now that was kind of a cop-out. I mean, it is the easiest way for me to accomplish my tutorial objective, but a lot of people have been asking about AI, and it wouldn't be right for me not to teach something having to do with AI. So I'm going to find a way to do that. And that's hard because I need to figure out a way to teach an AI in half-hour to hour-long instruction blocks with people who probably don't have a lot of experience with complex AIs, like any sort of decision-making progress, like, where do I go on a grid? What do I do? So, fair warning, it is going to be as simple as possible. And I am currently starting to plan an advanced turn-based strategy tutorial where I'll cover a more in-depth AI. I'll also cover things like isometric grids and a lot of the other little questions that have been popping up. That's all going to be addressed in the advanced tutorial. And we'll go into a couple different more advanced AIs there. For now, the AI we're going to be programming is going to be very simple. They're going to be little, straightforward, greedy little bad guys. They're going to move to the closest hero, and they're going to try to swing at him with a stick. Super simple. But that's still kind of complicated for me to figure out how to go into my instruction. All the instruction I've done so far, and, I take it back. All the instruction I did up to the hotkeys was planned out. I'd sit down with a piece of paper, a whole notebook actually, and I wrote down, what do I want to cover? How am I going to cover that? What am I going to do with this or that? Trying to make a tutorial that's successful, easy for people to follow. And It kind of got off the rails when I got to the buttons, because the buttons were just going to be click things. And then I was like, that's a cop-out too. We should do hotkeys. And we're going to need escape functionality. And so that kind of grew out of proportion. And then it was like, let's do a couple more interesting spells rather than just like the 1 or 2 I had planned. Let's do like 3 of them. And let's figure out how to do a cone with for burning hands. None of that was planned initially, so I guess I've been off the rails for like 2 videos now, and when we're going into AI, I'm going to be completely off the rails. But at any rate, it's coming. Now that I can talk without, sounding like I've got Kleenex stuffed up my nose, like I've got the worst cold in the world, they're coming. Why the channel went dark completely is for the couple weeks before this surgery, I was running around doing surgery stuff, and that was very stressful, obviously. And I was also running around with the game store that I'm a partial owner of and doing stuff with that, and that was really stressful. And also Comcast, my connection was terrible, so I wasn't able to build and maintain a backlog, and I just let the channel go dark, and I'm really sorry about that. So, channel's coming back up. We're going to start with a couple tutorial videos, and I'm going to try to get back into the swing of editing and working in videos and getting things back going. So, more tutorial is coming, some form of rudimentary AI is coming, and then when that's wrapped up, I'm going to move on to a more advanced tutorial where we'll cover more interesting AI stuff and more interesting grid stuff. A plain flat top-down grid's not very interesting, is it? So, all that's coming, and I'm very sorry for the, radio silence that's been around for the last month. Really, really very sorry. You guys deserve better than that. Also, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I am going to talk about it. I'm also starting my own game, finally. It's been about a year since I tried to work on my own game, and I don't want to get too into it right now. I don't want to talk about it that much. I haven't liked to talk about my projects since Frog Sword. I don't know. But I am working on something. I'll say that much. I am working on something, and maybe the channel will include some of that. I don't know. I'm really apprehensive about being public about the projects I'm working on. At any rate, I'm really sorry the channel's been dark. More tutorials are coming. I plan on wrapping things up in the next couple of months, because I'm not, we'll call it 2 months, maybe 3, because I'm not entirely sure how much longer it's going to take me, because again, I've got an AI, and even a basic AI is something I need to cut into little pieces and decide how I'm going to explain it. But it's all coming, and I'm very sorry it didn't come sooner. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.